Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Hard Choice Simple Steps for Showing Up. My name is Brad Draper. I've got with me an absolute stud. He's a gargantuan of a human in both size and heart. I love him. Bronson Kaufusi, welcome to The Hard Choice.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Let's go.
This is our second attempt at this. We actually originally did this when I was sitting on the side of the beach in Florida. My service sucked. So naturally, we had to do it again because it was that good. But to get into this, Bronson and I connected a couple of months back at a men's retreat. And we've kind of been in the same space for quite some time with the same people. I've heard his name passed around, and it's always been Bronson is amazing, which I know listening to this, you're going to feel that. But a little bit about Bronson. Tell us a little bit about you. I'll let you take us back a little bit. 50,000-foot view.
Okay. Yeah. So I was born in New Jersey. My dad was playing football. He's from Tonga. He got drafted in the NFL and played for the Eagles. So that's why I was born out there. And then he got into coaching. So he started coaching at University of Utah. Coached there for 10 years, then BYU for 20. And so we grew up a football family. And so I've been around the facilities, players, locker rooms, all those things my entire life. And I ended up getting into it, right? Playing. I played football and basketball at BYU. Graduated in statistics and analytics. So I'm a big football nerd. Love numbers. And I ended up going to the NFL. Got drafted in the third round to the Baltimore Ravens. Was there for a few years. Went to the Jets for a few years. Then I went to Green Bay. And now I'm done. And really, I got into helping my teammates who needed help with all things business, investing, building their networks out. And that's one of the things I'm super passionate about. And that's what got me into what I do now, which is, real estate. I'm a part of Harris Investment Group. And so we do multifamily and gas stations and helping people, use those things that really have a tax efficient investment. And so, but I got into it initially to help my teammates, which was pretty cool. And I've helped a lot of my teammates out, a lot of NFL, NBA guys, college guys, high school guys. I just help them with anything outside their sport, just because I understand that they just, they just haven't done it, right? And so it's a little bit scary for a lot of them. And so I try to come in and just help them, just be a soundboard, honestly.
I love that. You just said so much to unpack.
Yeah.
The thing that just throws most people off guard, especially me, maybe not every, it throws me off guard, is you're an athlete that was in finance and analytics. Those two don't normally go together. I mean, I was in analytics, but I was in chemistry, right? So I jive on numbers, and that's something that you and I both have a great passion for, both fitness in general, but also analytics, specifically the numbers of money and how important that is. But it is so cool that you really mostly go down the path of finance and numbers to help people, and how cool that is. And most of the athletes that I've known, not a ton, but some, all of them but you, they basically went into professional sports and became an instant investor. They went from somebody that is just a hard worker, no money, to gobs of money. They have no idea what to do with it. Is that what you kind of find most often?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what happened with me, honestly. I didn't grow up investing. And so every athlete now, if you're an athlete that's going to play in the pros, right, and you're good enough to get a scholarship offer in high school, there's high school athletes getting $1 million deals right now, plus. And so, a lot of the parents have been calling me, asking me to help, kind of mentor and be that soundboard for a lot of them, help them navigate it. And but it's very common. It's probably, and honestly, it's like, oh, but 80 or 78% of NFL athletes go broke within 3 to 5 years. And they're like, oh, a lot of people are like, oh, come on. Da, da, da. Well, their background, they've never been around anyone that talks investing their entire life, a lot of these athletes. And so I like to view it as, okay, it's going to take a little bit more time, attention, energy to teach these principles that have never been taught before, but now they're hitting them in the face, and they're just trying to hold on to this wealth that, as soon as your last game, you don't get paid anymore. So athletes have to it's like they come in down here, but they need to perform up here on the wealth management side, so that way when they're done, they can survive. And I've watched this with a lot of people, and a lot of them don't get this side organized and structured, and a lot of people shy away. A lot of athletes shy away from it when really it's like, no, we got to hit this head on, just like you've done in your sports, just like the discipline that you have to get to the pro level. We're going to take that discipline and stick it over here, because this is how you're going to set yourself up, your kids, your kids. Like, this is what we're going to do over here. And so that's what I love to do it. And I mean, sometimes I'm sharing things 4, 5, 10 times over. It doesn't matter to me, because I know it's going to change their grandkids' lives that they haven't met yet, but it's worth it to me to just share these things.
Dude, I love that. It's so good to think genealogy wise, legacy wise, right? So it's not just yours and your effect, but your family, your kids' family, your kids' kids' family, and so on and so forth. How important all that is. And also, from all my friends that have played in pro sports, specifically the NFL, correct me if I'm wrong, it's very cutthroat. Your job is on the line literally every day. And those contracts are not guaranteed contracts usually. Usually they are, you're paid for the season, or all of them. You're paid for the season, but it's not guaranteed that you will play the next game. It's not guaranteed that you will keep that contract. So if you got $1 million contract or more, that's not guaranteed. You get your bonus, but that's kind of the only thing. And so you've got to play the game of that game financially wisely.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. It's, man. For me, I felt fortunate just because I was able to find the right people. And that was the hardest thing for me, is I needed to vet people that were willing to teach me how to do the investment side of, um, money. And I felt really fortunate. I got around the right people. I was interviewing so many people, asking them, um, can you teach me? I'll invest with you, but can you teach me? And not everyone was willing to do it. So I felt fortunate. Yeah, for me, like, my first real mentor in real estate was Jason Harris, and that's what really, he took the time, to teach me. I had multiple meetings with them, and even when I invested, in the off seasons, I'm sitting there asking him questions, learning, just hungry. And so it was nice to be able to, be an investor, but then also learn the game at the same time. And now just do the same with all these other guys, and also business owners, entrepreneurs, people that, that are head down, grinding like an athlete, but they're building their wealth over here. And just, okay, how do we manage this? What do we do over here? So just finding the right people, I think, is huge.
Yeah. You brought up 2 topics that came to mind. One, I didn't know that you interviewed people to be your mentor. That's awesome. And that, 2, goes to show, 1, how important mentors are, which I want to go down that path, but also your focus on winning. You didn't just focus on the field, you focused on your life outside of the field, because the field wasn't going to be everything. It was the moment, but it wasn't everything. It was just kind of a stepping stone in the direction in which you wanted to go. So first off, how has focus played a role in your life in winning in all aspects? I mean, you pretty much dominated in high school. You dominated in college. You went through the NFL. You made it through all the teams. And here you are, and you're crushing it in life as a dad and as an investor and as a husband, as a brother, as a friend. How has focus played a role in your life?
Focus, if you're able to control it, right? If you're able to control focus, you can reach your true potential in anything. That's what I believe. And it comes down to control. And the opposite of focus is distraction. And if you're able to really, build your focus, because there's a lot of things on the focus side, it's a skill. And if you can train it, which it is trainable. I learned this in sports. You can train your focus. And then you limit your distractions. What happens is your performance goes up. And so, for me, I think one of the main things with focus is, there's a few things, but I would say one of the biggest ones, right, besides limiting distraction, is being extremely deliberate with what you do. And what I mean by that is if you have a goal that you're trying to go for, you have to be so deliberate with your focus. So because we only have so much time in a day, and with the time that we do have, can I compound that time, right, with the elite level of focus that gets me that much, even if it's this much closer to that goal? And what a lot of people I feel like struggle with, and me too, is you have the goal. Here I am right here, and now I don't ever reach that goal because down here the path to get there, it's not clear, it's not deliberate, and it's not. A lot of times people will take too big of bites, and it's like no, we need to go smaller, go smaller, go smaller. I can't even get to that next step. Okay, I'm gonna go smaller, and then all of a sudden you see the path to that outcome. And so being able to take your focus, make it deliberate, limit your distractions, and be able to really you're taking time, and focus makes time worth it. And that's something that I totally believe in.
Dude, I love that. Focus makes time worth it. That is so true because so much time is wasted by so many people. One of the things I've taught many of my clients is what's the difference from a 2 megawatt light bulb and a 2 megawatt laser? It's focus. A megawatt light bulb can light up a whole city. It'd be so freaking bright. But a 2 megawatt laser could probably cut through just about anything. And it's
Yeah.
just that deliberate energy, right? Doing the thing that you want to do. And then second off, the power of mentors. You've brought up your mentor, Jason Harris, and that he took the time for you, that you interviewed for those people to direct you. You didn't just take anybody on. Anybody that's like a fart in the wind, right? They just kind of flew into your world and you just took them on.
Yeah.
But you were very deliberate and very focused on the mentor that you chose. How have mentors played a role in your life?
Oh, it's been the key to everything, honestly. So I always hear people say that, right? As cliche as it sounds. But what I learned is that it's not we call them mentors because they are, but really they're just people that care, right? And so for me, when I was interviewing and talking to people, it's like really I'm interviewing who actually cares, because they're giving their time, their energy, they're taking, like we said, time is, man, it never stops and it's scarce, and they're going to give me a little bit of that. Well, I just want to value that, and I want them to know that, hey, that matters to me, and it can change a lot, honestly. So I think for me, being able to find someone that can do that is so valuable. So I just wanted to take time to make sure I found someone that I could really, get along with, have fun with, that wanted to uh, really help me and understood the big picture, right? I feel like the greatest mentors and mentorees, like how you make this relationship the best, is when both of you know each other's why and purpose. If you both know that,
There it is.
my motivation and their motivation, it's going to be the same. So when it comes to accomplishing anything and being great, now we're at the equal level. Even though the mentor's usually done a lot more in the space, right? But I'm the hungry one. So now we equal out, and it creates a great relationship because they know I'm just excited to be there. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to really remember everything that they say, and try to execute at the best of my ability, right? Every time they tell me to do something or share something with me, and everything they say is gold. It's treasure. So if they know if the mentor knows that's how I'm going to be, then oh man, he's going to be really, really, into helping me. And then, right, and I know he's just going to keep giving me more and more because he's just giving, right? Or he or she's just giving, giving, giving. And so I don't know. That's why I feel like it's something in life that once you understand the power of a mentor and how that affects where you're going, who you're becoming, because you're also giving up time over here to them. So this is not everyone can be your mentor.
Right.
I truly believe that. It just doesn't work that way. Like you have to be very wise And so, honestly, you might make a choice on a mentor and it just doesn't work out. Well, sometimes that's hard to get over, but you have to be able to move through it and just keep going, right? Because you will find the right person.
Absolutely. And you're on the opposite side because you're also mentoring, right?
Yeah.
And so you're mentoring all these young athletes and your teammates and other athletes and same sports and other sports and helping them get to their goals. How is that being a mentor? Because you've gone from mentee to you're still a mentee. I don't feel like that ever
Of course.
leaves.
Forever a mentee.
Forever a mentee, forever learning, and continue learning is so important and truly winning, right? But also passing it along into the next generation. How have you seen that for yourself? And not only that, but your focus and driving for that winning.
Yeah, well, first of all, going back to what you just said right there, that's so important. Every single mentor, the greatest mentors will forever be mentees, which means they're humble, they're teachable, they can learn. And I think you're absolutely right. So like when you're picking a mentor, you have to you have to, when you're talking to them and getting to know them, are these people still learning every day? Do they enjoy learning every day? Are they asking for help still? That just lets you know, oh wow, I think they're still open to helping me and it'll be better, right? That type of relationship. So, but being a mentor, I think man, it's valuable and you just want to give everything you can. I think that's why I mentor a lot of athletes, is because I understand their motivation. Back to what we were talking about, I understand this is why they're motivated and this is what they do every day. And this is why they sacrifice so much. So I think it's just important that, it doesn't matter what field you're in, where you come from, doesn't matter. You need a mentor. Like,
Yeah.
you need someone to talk to and share. And I mean, share your problems, share the things that you're running into that aren't going well, share the things that are going well, because people are every single person is just a wealth of knowledge. But if they don't know, if you can't share what you're doing and what you're working on, you're not going to really get anywhere. It's going to be really tough. And so being able to open up and share with anyone, right? But specifically someone in your field, I guarantee this individual has a mentor, and I guarantee this individual has a mentor, and this individual, and that is the power of the network, right? And because everyone has a mentor, so the main thing to do to get it going is just find one, and just ask the questions, and meet up. It doesn't have to be a lot, honestly. Like you can meet up once. I mean, you can meet up even like twice a year, honestly, and then just text or something. I mean, personally, I like to meet up at least once a month or have a conversation at least once a month, right? With my mentors, and maybe it might increase over time because things change, right? So I don't know. I feel like being a mentor is like one of the greatest opportunities and one of the greatest trust, opportunities in life, because someone is trusting their family, their kids with you. And so it's like, oh wow, if you are a mentor, it's honestly it's just, it really is a level of trust that you can't really find a lot of places. And so it should be treated like that, honestly.
Dude, that's straight gold. And the thing that you said in there that I truly love, that I know you, Bronson, fully embodies, which is everyone is a wealth of knowledge, and how important it is to recognize that you may have done something cool, and sometimes it's seen by public, sometimes it's not seen by public. It doesn't make you any greater or less than the person next to you, and how much knowledge you can gain from the person next to you. And that's something that, Bronson, I've seen from you in more ways than you can possibly fathom. Watching you both on the field, off the field, and both in work and in friendship and in life, that you truly just are that humble, and how important it is to stay that way. That way you can be a true resource. People can truly connect with you and not look to you like, oh man, here's this person, he's done X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. And how important it is to stay level-headed, but also be teachable, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then one final thing, as we wrap this up, if you could have the first thing that comes to mind, because naturally it's going to be the first thing that comes to mind, a nugget that you could share, what would it be?
Man, you know what? I honestly believe this. And it's weird because I like initially, like the first thought that came to mind, honestly,
Mhm.
was just to care, right? And what I mean by this is you gotta care for people, right? You gotta, care for your body, care for your mind, care for your, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, just care about it. Because when you care about something, um, you actually do your best. And growing up in life, in my family, I have 4 other siblings. We all played college sports, many in the pros. And I felt like my mom and dad did a really good job of just making sure no matter what we did, we were going to care about it. So if it's a test, if it's practicing the piano, if I'm going to go on this run or I'm doing, it doesn't matter if I'm baking something, like I'm going to care about it. I'm going to do my best and I'm going to be all in. And I feel like right now it's hard for people to really care about something because they don't want to hurt people's feelings or they're afraid of losing. But if you really care about what you're doing, man, it doesn't matter what you do, right? Because you always know I'm going to be a winner no matter what because I cared enough to try. I cared enough to take the risk. I cared enough to be great. And that's what we're here to do, to be great.
Yeah. I love that answer. And I love asking that question because it's usually not something we discussed. It's usually something that is most needed to hear by somebody, and no better person than you. So I appreciate you. Where can our listeners find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, bkafusi90. And then I'm also on LinkedIn, Bronson Kaufusi. Those are the 2 main places. Or I'm in Provo, Utah, Harris Investment Group.
Boom. And they got such a baller gym called The Club. And it's a ton of fun, cool space, cool environment. The whole office is awesome.
Yeah.
But this show only grows if you share it. So leave us a review on iTunes, on Spotify, wherever you listen to this thing. Until next week, like this thing, subscribe to it, download it for future listenings. We love you guys. Bye.